A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a bold and controversial move, President Donald Trump is shifting the U.S. approach towards Latin America, particularly focusing on drug cartels that have been a significant source of illicit drugs entering the United States. This strategy marks a departure from the previous administration's more diplomatic methods, opting instead for a confrontational stance that could involve military action. Reports indicate that Trump has directed the Defense Department to prepare military options aimed at dismantling these powerful criminal organizations. The impending security cooperation agreement with Mexico, which is expected to be signed soon, aims to enhance joint efforts in monitoring and combating criminal activities across borders. However, it is important to note that this agreement will not provide the U.S. with legal grounds for direct military intervention on Mexican soil. Any such actions could further exacerbate anti-American sentiments in the region, sentiments that have already been heightened due to the Trump administration's tariffs. Since his return to the White House for a second term, President Trump has ramped up efforts to target drug cartels, which he blames for the influx of fentanyl and other dangerous drugs into the U.S. In a significant move, he signed an executive order that classifies certain cartels and transnational gangs as foreign terrorist organizations. The State Department has already designated several groups, including the notorious MS-13 and Tren de Aragua, as such, allowing for more stringent measures to be employed against them. Additionally, the Treasury Department has sanctioned the Cartel de los Soles, a Venezuelan group allegedly linked to President Nicolas Maduro. The U.S. government has doubled the reward for information leading to Maduro's arrest to a staggering $50 million, reflecting the administration's commitment to tackling what it sees as a narco-terrorism threat from Venezuela. The implications of these designations are significant. Secretary of State Marco Rubio emphasized that categorizing these groups as terrorist organizations elevates the issue from a mere law enforcement problem to a national security concern. This shift allows the U.S. to utilize its military and intelligence capabilities to target these cartels more effectively. As part of this broader strategy, President Trump has deployed over 10,000 military personnel to the U.S.-Mexico border, reinforcing his administration's stance on immigration and border security. The Pentagon has created national defense areas in several states to bolster security operations, and recent mobilizations of California's National Guard have sparked controversy, particularly among state officials who oppose federal military involvement. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum has made it clear that any U.S. military action would not take place on Mexican territory, asserting that the operations would be confined to U.S. jurisdiction. This statement underscores the delicate balance the Trump administration must maintain in its efforts to combat drug trafficking while respecting Mexico's sovereignty. The administration's approach has received mixed reactions. While some lawmakers and officials support the aggressive stance against drug cartels, others warn that military intervention could lead to unintended consequences, including further destabilization in the region. Critics argue that the focus should instead be on addressing the root causes of drug trafficking and violence, rather than escalating military involvement. Despite these concerns, the Trump administration remains steadfast in its commitment to combating drug cartels. The recent indictment of a Mexican cartel member for providing grenades to a designated terrorist organization demonstrates the administration's resolve to hold individuals accountable for their roles in the drug trade. As the situation continues to evolve, the administration's strategy will undoubtedly be closely watched both domestically and internationally. The implications of Trump's military strategy against drug cartels will resonate far beyond the borders of the United States, potentially reshaping U.S.-Latin American relations for years to come. With the stakes higher than ever, the world will be watching closely to see how this bold new approach unfolds in the coming months. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.